In today's gospel from Mark, Peter says to Jesus, "We have given up everything and followed you." The next lines name what was given up, most notably family. There's a basic tension in the gospel concerning what to do with family. Is family good or bad? In the current form of our religious tradition and experience, family seems to be everything good. How many people, if asked to do word association with Christianity, would also identify family, family values, marriage, and child rearing? Yet in another passage, Jesus asks dismissively, "Who are my mother and brothers?" Jesus seems to be telling us that family is nothing. Or is he? Could Jesus suggest that the greatest mechanism of belonging or anchor in life is the very institution that we must give up? Is this gospel passage about literally giving up family, or is this saying meant to be taken as a figurative lesson? This is the subject of my reflection today, on Mardi Gras, the day before we begin the season of Lent, when we contemplate what we must give up. For many people across cultures, family is everything. Our family plays an important role in supporting us. Emotional support, financial help, sometimes performing physical tasks or running errands. Having many family supports is like the stability of a four-wheeled car over a two-wheeled bicycle. It's easier to hold one up by four supports than balance only on two. Family is also the critical place for love to flourish. Since God is love, and where there is love, there is God, it is no wonder that family is so deeply intertwined with Christian faith. On the other hand, family can hold us back. While Khalil Gibran reminds parents that children are not our children, but the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself, it is an all too common tragedy of parents holding their children back from striking out, from engaging with new people, places, or experiences. Too often, parents steer their children into their unfulfilled dreams rather than creating the freedom for children to pursue their own goals. This situation is not confined to childhood. Throughout life, family members can hold each other back with ultimatums or demands. In short, family can become an idol, another god that we worship, or a cover for us to be less loving of others or less loving of ourselves. I would love you, but my family doesn't approve. They don't like your identity or your kind. I would pursue this calling, but I don't want to disappoint my parents and relatives. These statements are all grounded in the powerful and pernicious sense of shame. Jesus and his followers always sought out the ashamed, those people who were on the outside of society, the tax collectors, sex workers, despised ethnic groups, and even the Roman centurion. Who are these people in our lives today? I will leave you to answer that question for yourself. I wonder how you are reading and hearing the gospel passage today. If one experiences a loving and strongly supportive family structure, one may be put off by Jesus saying, or decide this is simply one of the passages that we must ignore because it is too far outside the norms of modern experience. However, what if your experience is as a person who has been rejected by your family? A person rejected for their chosen profession or state of life, rejected for dating or marrying someone their family does not like, a person who is rejected by their family for an unintended pregnancy or a divorce. One unfortunately common example of rejection by family is the story of rejection of queer persons by their biological family. These stories are unique to each individual, whether that person be gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender. Rejection by family, friends, pastors, and churches has brought many LGBT people in search of family elsewhere. For some of our members, Holy Trinity has become a second family for those who have felt rejected by their first. Now, this point may not be true for all. Even in my own experience, for many years, I found it very difficult to break into the many social groups of the parish. Despite volunteering and playing an active role in parish life, we are not perfect when it comes to practicing the words of the hymn, "All Are Welcome." Nonetheless, a community like ours continues to widen the doors of our church, striving, albeit unsuccessfully at times, to welcome all, especially those who are seeking belonging. While it's important to consider different perspectives and angles on reading the gospel, I'm sure some of you are now asking, well, in short, what does this gospel have to teach us? As in, all of us. I don't believe Jesus is calling us to reject or abandon family or loved ones. Family, however one defines it, is a vehicle for the practice of the greatest of the virtues, love. At the same time, as Christians, we hold a far more expansive definition of family, extending to both friends and enemies. Indeed, our definition of love is larger too. In his popular memoir, Tattoos on the Heart, Jesuit Father Gregory Boyle writes, "If we long to be in the world who God is, then somehow our compassion has to find its way to vastness." In other words, we must find ways to love more, not less. Father Boyle adds, Jesus didn't champion the cause of the outcast. He was the outcast. He didn't fight for improved conditions for the prisoner. He simply said, "I was in prison." The strategy of Jesus is not centered in taking the right stand on issues, but rather in standing in the right place with the outcast and those relegated to the margins. Love for Christians is not mere sentimentality for one exclusive person or unquestioned loyalty to family or clan, but it is a broadly reaching and chosen sacrificial act to show in deeds rather than words full and complete care and concern for others, to treat others as I would want to be treated, to give up past hurts and unreasonable expectations, and instead to give generously to others. In the words of Mother Teresa, from one's own expense. Let this practice of unbounded Christian love become our daily practice this Lent. Then, like Peter, we can say, "We have given up everything and followed you."